of the phenols, alcohols, and ethers have the functional groups, the
Mhm.
structures. After that, we did some questions on naming them. Um,
Yeah,
After that, we learned the preparation of alcohol from alkenes
yeah,
and we did the first way by acid catalyzed hydration.
yeah.
I guess that much.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So we were still were in the
Thanks, ma'am.
introductory part of this chapter where we familiarize with what is a functional group in alcohol, phenol, and ethers, and generally the nomenclature, both the common in IUPAC nomenclature system, and also we discussed about the general type of bonding, the bond angle, and we compared them in alcohol, phenols, and ether. So this was till here it was a basic understanding of each type of the compound. Then we started to the preparation part, and the first preparation is from alkene, and that is one which you have already learned in grade 11. So that's the reason why we discussed this as the last example that the previous day, I think on the Thursday. So here, acid catalyzed hydration mean adding water, and the catalyst used here is an acid. That is why the method is known as acid catalyzed hydration. And you can see a molecule of water, that is HNO. OH, H will be added to one of the carbon and OH will be added to the other carbon. So that what you're getting is a alcohol. This is the general method.
Oh,
And
that's when you split H2O, right?
yeah, H2 will be split as HNOH. That is in presence of the catalyst. But again, the addition is governed by Markovnikov's rule. That means you have to say that the hydrogen will go to the carbon containing more number of hydrogen in the double bonded system. That means when you look into this part, that is the double bonded carbon, this carbon is having one hydrogen and this carbon is having two hydrogen. So from H2O, H will go to that carbon and make a bond where it contains more number of hydrogen. So that is why the major product is decided by Markovnikov's rule. The same thing what we discussed in grade 11, that is what happening here also. So it's a very easy and the simple method where you can simply use an alkene and you add water in presence of an acid to get your alcohol. So this was the last reaction, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if we will go to the next reaction, this is also something very related to what we discussed previously, that is a hydration. And this method is known as hydroboration oxidation. That means this reaction contains two steps. The first step is hydroboration, which is followed by oxidation. So we'll look into it in step by step. And before that, let's discuss about the compound borane. Have you heard of this compound borane? Diborane? Before, it's an inorganic compound. Its formula is B2H6. That means two boron atom and six hydrogen, but it exists as BH3 twice. That means it's a two segments containing BH3 units. It's like a dimer of BH3 molecule. That is why it's known as diborane. Borane means BH3. Diborane is dimer of BH3. That means BH3 twice, so that the formula is becoming B2H6. So this is the compound, the main reagent which you are using in this method, that is diborane. And here what happens is like the actual existence of this compound as BH3 and BH3. So total one boron bond is there and the three hydrogen atom attached to this one. That is why this particular compound is called diborane, because it's a dimer of borane molecule, that is BH3. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the main reagent. So now let's look into the organic part of it, because diborane is an inorganic compound, but still we use in this organic reaction. So in BH3, the same reaction, we can write BH3 can be written as HBH2, right? Because boron is making three bonds with hydrogen, that is the borane molecule. And if such two molecules joins, that is diborane. Okay. So here basically this hydrogen attached to the boron will be able to add across the double bond just like H and OH in the previous example. Same kind of reaction here also will be happening. That process is known as hydroboration. Hydroboration means adding hydrogen and borane. That is what hydroboration. Just like hydration we did in the previous example, this is hydroboration. And you can see what happened is like H is out of BH3 molecule because it is dimer of borane, that is diborane. It means it contains a BH3 part. In this BH3 part, one hydrogen and BH2, it will be split in this format. And hydrogen will be added to the one of the carbon and BH2 will be added to the second carbon. So if you look in the first step, this is what happens. Is that clear? Just looking at only the first step of this reaction. That means here H and BH total, the molecule is BH3 twice, diborane, which contains BH3 unit. In that BH3 unit, it exists as H and BH2. So what happened? This hydrogen get attached to one of the carbon and BH2 will be added to the other side.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, the hydrogen gets attached to any carbon, right?
It can attach to any carbon.
Okay.
Right. Now, if you see, look in the second reaction, what happens is like in this borane part, there are two more hydrogens left. So that hydrogen also can be added to another molecule of your starting compound. So here it was a propene and another molecule of propene can be added to this boron. So that hydrogen, again, this BH2 mean one hydrogen is replaced and it has got CH3, some alkyl group. Now you have two more hydrogen. So that hydrogen also will be attached to the carbon and the organic part will be added over there. That is what really happening. If you look into this reaction, it's just like replacing hydrogen from borane. So one hydrogen is replaced. In second case, you can see another one more hydrogen is replaced and in one more third. That means because it has got three hydrogen unit and when all the three hydrogen is replaced with your organic compound or alkyl part basically. So this is the first reaction known as hydroboration. Is that clear? You want me to explain with the structures?
Ma'am, in the final structure, will boron be at the central and then each
Yeah,
alkyl?
like that only. Yeah, it will be like three hydrogen. This is what the structure of a borane molecule. Similarly, at each time this hydrogen is replaced with the alkyl group, right? And finally, you will get a structure where boron at the center and it's substituted with the alkyl part.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? Okay, so this happens in three steps because there are three hydrogens. So all the three hydrogens should be replaced in a similar reaction. And finally, you're getting a trialkyl boron compound, which is known as trialkyl because three alkyl groups attached to a borane. That is why it's a trialkyl borane compound. So this step where alkene is added to the borane molecule is called a adduct. It's like an addition product. So it happens in three steps. At a time, one hydrogen of borane will be replaced so that in three steps, all the three hydrogen will be replaced and finally you're getting a trialkyl borane. So this part is the hydroboration reaction. And second step of this reaction is after all the three alkyl groups are attached to the boron, the second or the last step is oxidation. So oxidation is happening in presence of a oxidizing agent, hydrogen peroxide. H2O2 is a good oxidizing agent, not very strong, but still it's a good oxidizing agent. So it will be added in or used as an oxidizing agent over here in presence of some amount of aqueous alkali, that is OH minus, and aqueous mean that is why H2O. So the reagent required is presence of an oxidizing agent, that is hydrogen peroxide. OH minus mean it could be any base. Usually we use aqueous sodium hydroxide. So there is presence of H2O and OH minus. So under this condition, this trialkyl boranes will undergo oxidation. So you can see all the bonds with boron will be broken, and finally what you get is an alcohol as the main product. So you will get 3 molecules of alcohol from trialkyl borane because it has got 3 alkyl groups. So all the bonds, so it will be like this, be formed with 3 alkyl groups, and all the alkyl boron bond will be broken, and what you get is 3 molecules of ROH. That is propanol in this example, because you started with a propene and your product is a propanol. It's one of an important reaction. Like that itself, you can expect the question explaining the steps in the reaction. It can be with ethene, propene, butene, any starting alkene compound. So only thing is that it's like replacing hydrogen, one hydrogen at a time from a borane. And finally, you get a trialkyl borane compound, which is an addition product. And then this trialkyl borane undergoes oxidation in presence of oxidizing agent like hydrogen peroxide and sodium hydroxide aqueous condition. Then what you get is the alcohol. So whatever is the alkene you're taken, the product is an alcohol. Is that clear?
Ma'am, here if you want the reagents, will it just be a diborane H2, H2O2 and OH minus?
Yeah, I like that only because if you want to show it this reaction in a single step, you can do like this: CH3, CH, double bond, CH2. And on the arrows, first step, because it's a two-step reaction, it's not happening in a single step. So the first step will be, you can write it as B2H6. Sometimes they write B2H6. Sometimes they write BH3 twice. Whatever that is there, you can write, or in words also, you can write it as a diborane reaction. And on the second, it shows as a separate. In second step, it is hydrogen peroxide H2O2 in presence of H2O and OH minus. Like that, if you show, and the product, you can write it as CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. Like that. So both the steps can be shown in a single step, but it should be written as 1 and 2 because it is not happening simultaneously. After the complete hydroboration happens, that means all the 3 hydrogen is replaced with the alkyl group, then only it goes to the oxidation part where all the bonds are broken and you are getting alcohol as the product. So they used to ask like this only, complete the reaction. They give the reagent and reactant molecule and the reagent on the arrows, and you have to correctly write the product by identifying what is really happening. So it's basically preparation of alcohol from alkene. That's why it's a second method from alkene. That was the main heading. And the first method was a simple acid catalyzed hydration. You were just adding water molecule to an alkene. And that is, it's a second method because still the starting material is an alkene and final product is an alcohol. The same reaction you can do it in a previous method also. But here, this method, the advantage is that you're getting like more products in a less like time. That was a another advantage of in a, like if you think it in what you can say industrial method, or that is a major advantage of this method. So both are first previous method and this method. In both, you're converting an alkene to an alcohol. Okay. But using different method. Like in the previous example, it was acid catalyzed hydration. You're just adding water molecule. And here you're using a diborane, adding, that is hydroboration followed by oxidation. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please, I hope you are writing it down along with what the explanation goes. Please show everything in the step and make sure that you write the proper reagents on the arrows. Here, the condition temperature is not specified, so you can avoid. There are certain reaction that means it mostly it happens in room temperature or does not require a particular temperature or pressure. There are some other reaction where it should be a specific temperature or pressure you should be used. There you have to specify it on the arrows.
Ma'am, for the previous one, is the acid catalyst also a reagent?
Acid catalyst mean you have to use acid as a catalyst. Any H plus, any source of acid. So you can use HCl, H2SO for usually they use sulfuric acid like that. So whatever is the acid available, something very strong and can give out H plus ion can be used as a catalyst.
Okay, ma'am.
So sometimes they write instead of H plus, they write HCl. So which means it's H plus ion. So generally it could be any acid. Okay, so these two methods, what we discussed, hydration, acid catalyzed hydration, and hydroboration oxidation, these two are from alkenes are converted to alcohol. That means your starting reagent or the starting compound is an alkene and the final product is an alcohol. Okay, so can we move to the next one? So let's move to the next type of compound, that is carbonyl compound. How can we convert a carbonyl compound into alcohol? This is one of the important reaction because in the next chapter, what we discuss is fully about your carbonyl compound. So what do you mean by a carbonyl compound? What is a carbonyl compound? Any idea? Have you heard of this term before?
Ma'am, is it something that has a group that has CO in it?
Yeah, that means carbonyl compound is basically, this is the carbonyl group in organic, C double bond O. And carbonyl groups are of different types like aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid, etc. Aldehydes mean CHO group. CHO group is like C double bond O H. Ketone group is like simply C double bond O with two alkyl groups. Carboxylic acid is COOH. Don't worry, as you may be not be understanding it right now, but next chapter you are learning it in detail. So at that time you will see the same reaction repeating over there also, because the terms are related to each other or these compounds are related to each other. So the reaction of one of the compound will be the preparation method in the other chapter. Like that, you're learning the same reaction here and there repeated. So here you're focusing on the preparation of alcohol and your starting compounds are aldehydes and ketone. So what is basically you need to understand is like when you have aldehydes or ketone, so CHO group is aldehyde and CO attached to two alkyl groups are ketone. So when you have aldehydes or ketone, you have to do the reduction. So here what is important is there are two important reducing agent that you can use anywhere in organic wherever you have these kind of reduction, and that is sodium borohydride or lithium aluminum hydride. These two are, please make an important note of it. It will be useful in many of organic reaction where you have to do the reduction, and this is what you need to focus on. These two are the important reducing agent we use in organic, and first one is lithium aluminum hydride and the second one is sodium borohydride. So what happens is here you can see what is a reduction. What do you mean by reduction? What is a reduction reaction? If you see the reaction, it was CHO group and has converted to CH2OH, right? So what has happened over here?
Hydrogen has been
Added. And in the second exam, yes, very good, I see. That means in the second example also you can see to a CO and has changed to CHOH. That means a molecule of hydrogen is added. So reduction in organic, basically we prefer an addition of hydrogen rather than reduction. Usually we define as a removal of oxygen, but here we take, if you analyze this reaction, it's rather than the removal of oxygen, addition of hydrogen has happened. Whether we are using hydrogen in presence of palladium as a catalyst, or if you use sodium borohydride, in either of the case, what has happened is like a molecule of hydrogen is added across that carbonyl group. That C double bond O group, no, that is be changing as CHOH. That is the change happens in the case of reduction. So please make an important note of this concept. Reduction of aldehydes and ketones. So you can use this. This was an important catalyst we discussed last year also. Adding hydrogen in presence of platinum, palladium and nickel, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so other than that, these are the two other important reducing agents, sodium borohydride and lithium aluminum hydride. So, and another important point in this topic is that aldehydes is giving you primary alcohols and ketones will give you secondary alcohol. This is also very important concept. So you can make a general comment like reaction like this: aldehyde reduction. Usually if you write hydrogen in bracket, the meaning is reduction. Usually for oxidation we write oxygen in square bracket, right? Similarly, if you write hydrogen in the square bracket, the meaning is reduction. So when you do the aldehyde reduction for the aldehyde, and the product will be always primary alcohol, you will get only primary alcohol by the reduction of aldehyde. The next chapter you are learning why it is so. Here you just need to know that you're getting a primary alcohol. And similarly, ketones, which undergoes reduction, and what you get is secondary alcohol. So please write it down also. Next chapter you are learning it again. So it will be very, very, very important concept where you have to do the conversion reactions and all. And if you want to convert an aldehyde or ketone to an alcohol, you have to do the reduction. And always aldehydes will give you primary alcohol and ketones will give you secondary alcohols. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can we move to the next one? Because in carbonyl compound, this is the one first method where you can reduce an aldehyde or ketone, and what you get is an primary or secondary alcohol based on what you have taken. If you take aldehyde, you will get primary alcohol. If you're taking a ketone, and what you get is a secondary alcohol. Next is like carbonyl compounds are not only just aldehydes and ketone, even carboxylic acid, esters, all these are coming under carbonyl compound. So you have another methods which is particularly from the carboxylic acids and esters. So the next method, again, the starting compound is a carbonyl compound, that is reduction of carboxylic acids and esters. So here also again you can see carboxylic acids are reduced to primary alcohol if you use lithium aluminum hydride as a reducing agent. You can use sodium borohydride. Both are of same use. Either a lithium aluminum hydride or you can use sodium borohydride. Any of these reagent is very useful. So here also for carboxylic acid, to convert the carboxylic acid to an alcohol, that is again a primary alcohol, you can use lithium aluminum hydride. The same kind of reaction, but here the starting compound is another carbonyl compound that is carboxylic acid. So COOH group is carboxylic acid. So we have one more method in carbonyl compound, that is from esters. So please let me know once you're done with this reaction. Done? Can I change?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next one, that is again I'm coming under carbonyl compound, that is here. You can see rather than a carboxylic acid directly reducing, in a commercial preparation of an alcohol, which is commercially mean they not only check about the type of the reaction, they also check about economical factors too. So for them, it's very easy to convert a carboxylic acid to an ester first, and then ester will be reduced because this reaction is very easy, does not require much arrangement of the condition, and that ester will be reduced to carboxylic acid. So first a carboxylic acid to the ester, and then ester will be reduced to alcohol. And you here what you can see is like you're getting two different types of alcohols here. So that is another advantage. That's a commercially more economically feasible. That's why they usually for the commercial preparation of alcohol. So rather than just converting an alcohol, converting a carboxylic acid directly to an alcohol, first they convert a carboxylic acid to an ester. So what is the connection between carboxylic acid and ester? What is the connection between a carboxylic acid and ester? I think in grade 10 you learned about it, right? Carboxylic acid plus alcohol is giving you esters. All those who came to school to do the practical has done this reaction. That's a confirmatory test for acetate ion. And when you heat it with 1 drop of strong sulfuric acid and ethyl alcohol and strongly heating, you will get a pleasant fruity smell, right? All those who please respond. Yeah, you were getting a pleasant fruity smell, and that was esters. So usually esters are type of compound formed from carboxylic acid and alcohol. And here you can see you're using an alcohol here. And you get an ester. And these esters on reduction is giving you carboxylic alcohol. So what you have added is regenerated here. That means there is nothing lost. You can still use this one in the next set of reaction. So once you take a starting compound, you can use the same thing again and again because that compound is regenerated at the end. So in the next set cycle of reaction, again, you will add the same alcohol and you convert an acid to ester, and that ester will be reduced to alcohol. So usually ester, the formula you can see RCOOH is acid. Okay, so we write R. This is actually how we write. Anyway, next chapter, as I told you, like carbonyl compound and esters, we are carboxylic acid and all we are learning in detail. But still, if you're thinking like how this is happening, okay, why we write R dash? Because just to differentiate that this alkyl group and this alkyl group is different. That's the only thing. Alkyl group can be ethyl, methyl, propyl, anything. So we just write R dash because just to differentiate the alkyl group. Otherwise, you will be thinking that you have to always take ethyl, mean ethyl only like that. It could be any combination. That's why they just write R dash. So what happens is like here, this OH and hydrogen will be eliminated. And what you get is R, C double bond O, O, R dash. This is the compound called esters. So that's why it's written over here as esters. That's the formula for esters. And esters on reduction is what you're getting as alcohol.
Ma'am, the catalyst, is it one of the reducing agents?
Hydrogen, if you use a hydrogen, the catalyst should be platinum, palladium, or nickel. That is known as catalytic hydrogenation. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Otherwise, a reducing agent directly. In that case, you can just use lithium aluminum hydride, sodium borohydride, but you don't have to use a hydrogen separately because these reducing agents will give out H2. But here what we use is a catalytic hydrogenation where hydrogen is added in presence of a catalyst. A catalyst can be platinum, palladium, or nickel.
All right, ma'am.
Okay, right. So can we move to the next one? The last method of preparation for alcohol is from Grignard reagent. I guess you all remember what is Grignard reagent. What is Grignard reagent?
Anything that has MgBr, so XMgBr.
Yeah, any R, Mg, X. It could be any alkyl group or any of the halide can be there. Halogen element will be there. So here you can see RMgX, that is the Grignard reagent. And again, the starting compound is from a carbonyl compound, that is a compound containing C double bond O. They just use two other arrows because that can be any alkyl group of anything. So what happens is like when you have a carbonyl compound and when you treat it with Grignard reagent, the R group will be added to the carbon and MgX will be added on the oxygen. So what you get is an adduct. Adduct is actually a short form of addition product. Addition plus product together is known as adduct because that is what formed by just adding a Grignard reagent to a carbonyl compound. And when this carbonyl compound undergoes hydrolysis, that is H2O on adding, what you get is like this part will be removed and hydrogen comes over there so that what you get is an alcohol. So this is another method. And here the starting compound is a carbonyl compound treated with Grignard reagent. That's why I told you Grignard reagent is very, very, very important. Last chapter, we discussed the preparation method. Because alkyl halides on treatment with magnesium metal, you get a Grignard reagent, but this Grignard reagent is of different uses are there. And one of the important use for the Grignard reagent is converting a carbonyl compound to an alcohol. So this is the last method of preparation for alcohols.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, for hydroboration also you had told about an adduct. So what is the adduct there, ma'am?
Adduct means nothing but if you add something to another, a compound, and you get a product, right? But that product is an additionally a product where something is added. Here nothing is lost, right? You're not removing anything.
Okay,
Or
ma'am.
it's not even breaking down. Sometimes when you add an addition reaction, when you added something, maybe that compound is given two different products. It's like just a state where it's something accumulated or added with. That's why it's a term adduct. Addition product is short form of addition product is adduct. But that will not be staying because you know that it's not a stable product because it's something it added with, but it does not looking for the stability or the identity. It just added into a particular compound and it stays there. And you can see it's put in the square bracket, mean that is not stable. It forms in this transition condition. And it has to rearrange. It has to do some other thing in the changes so that you will get a stable product at the end. So that's why we use the term adduct.
Okay, ma'am.
So these are the three different methods, basically alkenes and two different starting material, alkenes and carbonyl compound can be converted to an alcohol. And let's look into it quickly. So we started from an alkene. There are two different methods where an alkene can be converted to an alcohol. First method is acid catalyzed hydration, and second method is hydroboration followed by oxidation. So acid catalyst means a simple reaction where you add a water molecule in presence of acid, you get an alcohol. And alkene can be treated with diborane, which will be giving you hydroboration first, and then oxidation will give you alcohol. Then second method is from carbonyl compound. There are three different methods we discuss with carbonyl compound, and it's basically reduction of aldehydes and ketone using lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride, or even you can use hydrogen in presence of platinum, palladium or nickel. These three are the important reducing agents. And what is important to note down is aldehydes will give you primary alcohol and ketones are giving you secondary alcohols. Then we discuss about the reduction of carboxylic acids and esters, again the same way. But there is one more method which is commercially used where an carboxylic acid is converted to an ester first, and that ester is then reduced to give you alcohol. And the last method is like using Grignard reagent. So first you are getting an adduct where a ketone is treated with a Grignard reagent, and then you are getting a product.
Well, I guess period is over.
Yeah. That's why I'm just winding it up here. So we'll discuss the preparation methods for the phenol tomorrow, and then the
Yes, ma'am.
physical and chemical properties.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah,
you, ma'am.
please go through it and come for tomorrow's session. Okay, then only you will understand this.